As I've said before, there's a subtle thing functioning. There's a force in this play of the human expression of consciousness. There is a dichotomy, there is a duality, as there is in all things in this play of manifestation. And there is a force inside us that is more wanting you to be the ego, to live earth life, and to not know your divine nature. And largely, we are attracted to that because through the senses, through the mind, he's there, and we are thinking, but I have all of this. And on the other side, there's an energy that is, I'm using the word energy right now. There's a force that is moving towards God, moving towards truth, moving towards the higher self, moving towards the higher levels of consciousness. But we become sometimes so habituated to this lowly kind of thinking of ego identity. And the ego identity is a bit of a selfish state and fearful, full of complexity and judgments and all of this superstition, all of these things. So I don't want to talk to you about all these things. I just want to show you, as much as grace allows this, the purity of who you are, the purity of your natural being. You don't need any manipulations, you don't need any technique. You don't need any technique. You really don't even need any practice. You don't need to become something else. There just has to be the willingness to look and to begin to discover the functioning and the mechanism of the psychological mind. How we've been living under the influence of personhood and not discovering your full nature. So this is how important it is to have spoken with you, to show and to break down the film that lives in us, to break down our own personal ego YouTube and to look at it frame by frame and say, look, this thing, look at this thing. And you see right at the very gate of nirvana, if you could do like this. This force is still trying to call you, come, don't go. You see? And where did you go? Nowhere. You're just here. You're just here. All life, we're trying to go somewhere. And something is pointing you to what is really here. What is timeless, which is unborn, which is uncreated, which is inseparable, which is imperishable. But the human mind can't believe that. It's some kind of trick, it sounds nice. And so that's called sleeping. There's something here, like I don't want to talk about anything else. I want you to really try to digest what has happened here. Your seeing, her seeing should be your seeing. You don't have another story. You may have another version of the same thing, but your seeing is the same. It's overcoming the kind of psychological or the hypnosis of the psychological self. We all believe this conditioning and how much you have to do and you have to practice and you have to really try hard and you have to meditate every day. And I said, who is doing it? The construct of an identity that you take to be yourself. That you believe, I have to do this, I have to do that, and in my case and in my experience, and advertising the false self. what you are, you already are. It has always been perfect, but it is not personal. We are all attached to a personal version of who we think we are. And whoever you may think you are today, I guarantee that in a short while, you will not describe yourself in the same way. Another version, and another version, and a succession of upgrading our ego, and still not finding the truth of yourself. So I don't just want to move on to another story. There is no next, except in your mind. All this is the timeless now. The truth, let's use the light of what we have seen to look. Because the truth that you're seeing is not, you're not seeing it with these eyes. It's not with fleshly, biological eyes you're looking, but with the eyes of understanding, the eyes of the subtle intellect, the eyes of your heart. You see this thing. If we are deeply attached to our physical identity, or psychological identity, that will amount to a kind of an eclipsing of your intuitive recognition of what is true. And as long as we are fascinated and attached to our identity as a person, the attraction for truth or to evolve to higher levels of consciousness will be weak inside you. You are sitting in the energy field, the grace field of Satsang. Why? Because something inside you wants to wake up and something inside you don't. So which is the voice you will listen to? You see? What is waking up? Just waking up to what you have always been. Not waking up to a new version of yourself. And this is why this was fascinating, because I say, I have not met anyone who has woken up and regretted it until today. I said, no, this doesn't make sense, because if she is true, then I've been telling lies all my life? No. I said, no, something is not right. And it is the first time we have come so close to look at the mechanism, at the sophisticatedness, at the subtle deceptiveness of the egoic mind. And we caught him. You caught him. How subtle, how close. In 1 second, you could have lost, so to speak. This which you are now would have been hidden again. Maybe for another 100 years, maybe for another 10 lifetimes, you are drifting in the sea of samsara. And this is why I say, the invitation, use him, he's a friend. Keep showing you what you cannot not be. It's helping, it's looking into the mirror of the self to reveal your timeless being. And beware, there is a force that does not want you to look. Don't curse this force. This force you're going to use. This force you're going to use to find the true self. Because we need the friction, of doubt, of trials and tribulations. The aspiration that enable you to overcome, to transcend. I have not come here to share theory with you. I have not come here to just give you, kind of like fluffy concepts. I've come here something direct. And this is why sometimes so much resistance come up, you see. This morning I went off, a few of us go out, like I do in different places I go in the mornings to just go for a walk. You see? You may have noticed I've slimmed down a little bit. Okay, so we are on the road going this morning, and I noticed somebody came and was riding next to me, But I know the face, I've seen before. We're riding. And then I'm riding. I say, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I say, can I help you? You know? I said, okay, I pulled off. We pulled off the road and we stopped. And this man came and he said, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. So, okay. Then he said, I've been waiting for, I think 2 years or 4 years, something like this. I'm waiting 4 years for you to come, to see you. And now that you are here, I find that I'm running away from you. So I said, I understand that. Because I've heard this voice many times. I understand that. Don't be ashamed. I am not hurt. Because I know what is speaking in you. Yeah? Because when I'm here with you, this thing that wants to keep you in your ego, in your body, it comes up. And that's why you want to run. You see? But I've come here for you, to help you to find that which will never leave you. And this is how we talked. And then in the end, we had such a beautiful meeting. I even said, listen, I'm going for a walk, you can come. We had a beautiful morning like this. I am attracted to satsang, and yet something wants to run away. I love you, but sometimes I hate you. So I know this voice. I know this voice. I've met this voice many times. Yes. It also lived in me. Attracted. I love you, Mooji. Yeah, I know it. And why I'm not upset? Because I know it's not you. I know it's not you. It is the things that we have been swallowing for so long that is not in service to your truth. And when we are together, he can't hide. It's like he can't hide. It's like hiding behind a sheet of glass. So he has to come up, and he comes up. And I said, don't identify, let him come. Don't run away, because if you run away with him, when in fact you should be turning away from him. But because this voice is homegrown, it's been a developing relationship, and we have given for whatever things, maybe something hurt you in your life or something, and you've listened to this voice a bit too much. And it seemed like a friend, but it is robbing you of your eternity. And because beings such as myself, I am not different from you. I'm the same like you. But I've seen him and I know him by the grace of God. And then I come to tell you, I am for you. Just listen. Just listen. Hear me in your heart, and you find your freedom. Because your freedom is not somewhere else. It's right here, but it's being covered by something which is unfree. This is what happened today. And if you have a space in that, you may find a lot of, yeah, it's okay. It's not personal. I know if you feel hatred towards me, I know it's not personal. I feel even if you have love for me, it's still not personal. I'm not even asking you to love me. You don't have to. It's not necessary to love me to be free. It is not necessary. But if you only hate me, it will prolong this way of seeing, because I came only to guide and to remind you, I'm just a friend. I'm just a friend. You don't have to take me as no guru or nothing. I'm just a friend. I just tell you, just look. You see? Because the relationship between a guru and a real devotee, this duality, it shouldn't really last for very long. Because he's only trying to show you, but you are just like me. We are one. You see? Just follow, just follow, just follow. When you are found, then you may love me. But until then, your love is not stable. And I don't depend on it. I don't need it. I just enjoy. You don't need nothing else to be free. You only need to listen, and if you follow to the voice that really is for you, and you come to know it, because anytime you listen to the true voice, you find that there's more space in your life. You're more kind, you're more patient, you're more open, more wise. Yes. And what does this voice says? Give me some money? I don't need your money. I don't need to exchange anything with you. I don't think anyone who has found the truth wants anything from you. Because they already have everything. And they're not even attached to that even. Because truth is not about having something. It's about who and what you are. And I tell you, it is enough for you. Then all the things of the world, it's okay too. Nothing is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with them. Nothing is wrong with money. But your attachment to money or your desire for money will cause trouble for you. Nothing is wrong with anything. It's only here. It's only how it is for you. If you make it so important, then you will lose your way.